Welcome to Tales from the Tub. Today I'm going to share an origin story, which was really the beginning of my journey of ensuring that Goldie-Lou and Bigz had a proper environment for them to thrive. The story starts, they were about a year old, and we went away on vacation, and it was a family member's responsibility to make sure that they got food and everything was all good in that aspect. Uh, as you can see, they started as very little fish and then gradually got moved into the glass enclosure, their first glass enclosure. And we went away on vacation and something happened. We came back and something happened. They were in really, really bad shape. And so I wanted to educate everybody on what happened. So I'm going to show you what happened to them. They we got home from vacation and they were in really bad shape. They were barely even moving. And we changed the water and a couple days later they turned black. Part of their skin turns black. Never knew about this. It's known as pneumonia poisoning. And it's what happens when the water is too dirty, there's too much either waste or uneaten food or decaying stuff, or it's with a fish tank, there needs to be a healthy amount of bacteria in the water, but too much and ammonia levels spike and it's very dangerous. The fish breathe air through the water. If there's pneumonia in the water, it makes it difficult for them to breathe, almost like if you'd put a human inside a room with no air. It'd start with your nervous system and then your immune system fails. And even for a short amount of time, just like a human, if fish are in really dirty water, they can go get into a bad state very quickly. We were only gone for 4 days. So this is over a 4 day time. When I left, they had clean water, everything was good to go. Came back, and it was a completely different thing. So, this is a picture of them or a video of them when I got back. I was like, oh my God, we need to clean up the water. We need to do something here. So, things, if this ever happens to you or you're wondering if this is happening to your fish, you probably would know. They're going to be like gasping for air at the top. They're barely going to be moving. These are two really active fish that just were not even moving. um, they're clamped, so their fins are not out, they're clamped against themselves, or they're just swimming really weird or in darting patterns, or the water just smells like terrible. That's how I tell. I can smell the water and know whether it's good or bad. So if you see your fish laying on their side or upside down, we all know that's bad. If they have bloodshot eyes or red streaks on their body, that's bad as well. Uh, and after after this happens, if left unchecked, they start to get like scarring on their skin, and we'll see that. Uh, if your water looks milky or yellowish, that's the worst. Like you need to change it. Look for patches of stuff on their body. And like if you're putting food in the tank and they're not going for it, something is wrong. So this is what it looks like with the ammonia scarring. It's very difficult for me to show these videos. I was so upset when this happened. You had no idea. This was the start of me going next level to make sure that they were good. From this point forward, we were doing water changes every 3 days. I also fed them kale leaves to make sure that they were okay. I mean, just look at that scarring on Biggs. Like, that's terrible. And Goldie-Lou's fins. Oh, my. So what do these black patches mean? They actually are a sign of healing. It's not the fish getting worse. This was something that I needed to look up. I thought they were getting worse. I'm like, what's going on here? So when the ammonia burns the skin, it's their response by using melatonin, same pigment that causes skin in humans to change color. Same thing happens with the fish. Sorry. That this black coloration is building scar tissue over the wound. And the darker the patch, the more active the healing. They were almost dead. I mean, they were so black, like I was wondering if they even were going to come back. But they started to go down after a couple days, but it was at least 2 months till they were good to go. Uh, I don't know if they were hurt permanently. I don't, they're fine now, and I'll show pictures of them. But it took some time to get them good. So what did I have to do? Well, it's definitely changing water. So what do we do to fix this? Well, of course, changing water. Assess the situation right away. We almost took out as much water as we could so that they could still be in there, and there's still water for bacteria. We did that for 3 days straight. I also put kale in. It was the first time I had them eat green leaves. It seemed to really help build them up with like chlorophyll, other stuff. Like if they were in that bad environment, it seemed to get greens into them seemed to make sense, and it seemed to help. And also just making sure that when we put food in, we took it out if it was uneaten, and then just watched them every day for pretty much like from that time forward. I would change the water every 3 days. I always have buckets of water on demand. I did that until we moved them to the tub. So filling up water, putting it in the tank. I mean, that's the key thing to do here. And of course, them eating kale leaves was also an important way to resolve this situation. So if you're going to go on vacation and you want to make sure your fish are all good, definitely change the water before you leave. Uh, Test your water levels. Don't overfeed them before you leave because then they're just going to poop more. Make sure all your filters and timers are good to go. I have a baby cam on our setup, and I also have someone stop in if it's more than 2 days. So the water also can evaporate to the level, especially in the wintertime when the heater's on, that I need someone to check on it at least every 2 days. And when I'm on vacation, I look through the camera, I make sure they're all good. I know what times they are fed so I can check the camera when the feeders drop food and see that they're all good. And anybody that watches them, including my son, understands what needs to happen as far as like water changes and what they need to do. So everybody's up to speed and they know what they need to do. So here's a picture of the setup now. As you can see, there's an automatic feeder on both sides. There's the baby cam. There's also a universal power supply backup that if the power goes out, it still keeps it running for up to a day. It also has an air system that even if the power bank would go out after 2 days, the pump just on its own USB powered would last for another three. So this setup could really keep them going for up to 5 days with no power if needed. Never had to test that, but I know all the stuff works. So here's another angle where you can see the power supply and all the cables and everything, baby cam, just to make sure they're all good. So these two definitely made a full recovery, and it was pretty much the journey of me beginning to take pictures and video and everything it takes to keep them good. So here's a video of them looking beautiful, thriving, loving life, and making a full recovery. So feel free to follow us on all our channels. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Also got a website. Not sure if I forgot any channels, but check us out on all of them. Thank you, and hope to see you in the future.